the right is melting down. And what's crazy to me about the right melting down over these resounding Democratic wins and Democratic socialist wins is that I didn't know that the right was doing elections anymore, because the last I checked, the right wanted to and is disenfranchising Americans, trying to pass restrictive voter ID laws, trying to undo the Voting Rights Act after successfully gutting it, now trying to completely undo it vis-a-vis the Supreme Court, doing obviously massive voter purges through claiming that undocumented people are voting when they are not, and then gerrymandering the out of the country, illegally gerrymandering. I mean, gerrymandering is illegal. I mean, it's illegal generally, right? But going even farther and redrawing maps on an off year, like the state of Texas is doing, to which Gavin Newsom in California's response was, hello, Prop 50. Here will be 5 new Democratic seats, and gerrymandering in the face of gerrymandering. What I'm trying to say is the Republican strategy has not been to vote. The Republican strategy has been to cheat. The Republican strategy is minority rule. That's what they love. They love the Electoral College, which is unrepresentative and a vestige of the past and ridiculous and ultimately, born of structural racism. The Electoral College, the popular vote, is by and large goes Democrat. Not in this last case. But that's what I'm trying to say is, like, when are they trying to play fair? And yet they are freaking out, including Donald Trump. Trump tweeting, Trump wasn't on the ballot and shutdown were the 2 reasons the Republicans lost elections tonight. Now, for this whole month, many weeks, 7 weeks, the Congress has been out. Mike Johnson has been blaming Democrats, calling it the Schumer shutdown when they are actually the majority in both chambers. They could reconvene at any moment. They could talk about it. We could talk about the ACA subsidies. My premiums went up. Anyone else? There goes any savings I had. I was like, oh, I'm going to pull back here. Oh, there we go. Now you hear from the head honcho, and head honcho is admitting, oh yeah, the shutdown. And apparently in private, Donald Trump's also admitting and telling Republicans that the shutdown is hurting them, that everyone knows it's their shutdown. Everyone knows that now that a bunch of flights are going to be cut because there are no FAA controllers to make sure that we can fly safe. Oh my God, there was a UPS plane that, crashed and killed 7 people the other day. That's all on Republicans. They know that. And it's coming home. And of course, he's like, Trump wasn't on the ballot. Everyone changed their name to Trump. Okay? It could be Trump Chitterelli, just middle name Trump. Everyone put their middle name Trump and they will win. Or he should just run. He should just put his name in he should run. Trump on the bronzer line, whatever it is, whatever party. Just put his name on the ballot somewhere. He swears he's going to win. And again, this is not just the party. You sort of like, you're like, why would he say that? That's interesting. I guess Trump has to be on the ballot, and he is planning to run in 2028. I mean, it's going to be, I got to say, as much as I want, God, I want him to be a joke so bad, but I do think a, 84-year-old man 83-year-old man running for a 3rd time illegally, there is something sort of disgustingly perverted, and a perverted fascination I have about that I'm like, I kind of want to see that, but also that's unconstitutional, and no, he cannot. But we know, Steve Bannon said it last week, they're trying to run Trump again. And it's like, okay, well, you mean Barron? Do you mean, no, they're trying to run him again. So that's a little bit of a hat tip to also run me forever. JD Vance had a take, which, again, everyone on the right, all their little disgusting influencers have their own take. Why did we lose? Oh my God. Some are being very honest about, Ted Cruz said, look, they wiped the floor with us. Mike Johnson, however, is still in denial.
There's no surprises. What happened last night was blue states and blue cities voted blue. We all saw that coming. And no one should read too much into last night's election results. Off-year elections are not indicative of what's to come. That's what history teaches us.
No, that is not what history teaches us. I mean, the blue states, blue. No. Everyone moved to the left. Everyone moved or to the center. Glenn Youngkin was the Republican governor of Virginia before. Now it's a Democrat. That's huge. That is huge. That's a flip, right? There's a lot of flips here. So he's trying to downplay it, of course. My favorite, though, is this Representative Lisa McClain, who's on CNN. And guys, wait till you get a load of this excuse of why the Republicans fumbled this so bad.
Trump told Republicans earlier this morning, according to a source talking to CNN, that Republicans are getting killed politically on the shutdown. And if you look at what happened last night, it is hard to say that there is anything in the election results. And I'm looking at not just like, I get it, New Jersey's a Democratic state, but looking at Republican counties, looking at Republican sheriffs that lost their jobs. It's hard to see anything last night that was an endorsement of what the Republican Party is doing right now.
Yeah, well, let me give you the other side of that of that story. Is voter turnout from Republicans was not high, not high at all. But I think part of that reason is because Republicans, for the most part, are happy with what's happening. The border's closed. Crime is down. Inflation under Biden used to be 9%. It's now down to 3%. Interest rates are down. Mortgages down. Let me just finish.
I know that what I just said was a lie. Interest rates are not down. Mortgages are not down. Inflation is absolutely not down. We just hit today jobs numbers that the job losses are the highest they've been in 22 years. All right. Job cuts totaled 183% surge from in October, a surge from September. And 175% higher than the same month a year ago. Oh, what happened to Nutlick saying that all the manufacturing jobs are going to come back? We just have to learn how to build iPhones with our hands. Yeah, man. It turns out when you just say stuff, it doesn't happen. You can't just speak things into existence, but I'm glad you're getting rich. I'm glad you're personally getting rich. People are staying home because they're happy. They don't need to vote Republican because they have everything they want. I love it. I love how stupid they think we are and their voters are. I mean, really, it is for their voters. But obviously that was on national news. So it is for a general audience. Like, I know you're like, again, there is this space between full-blown fascism, because we have it already, full-blown control of all voting systems, clamp down on mail-in, on absentee, on early, full, like real corruption, real ballot stuffing situations, real can we turn the pores into fuel, and where we are right now. And in here, in the next, I would say 10 years, is this time to fight. In the next month, in the next 2 years, in the next, this, and they know it. They know, they're like, we can't just, push a button and make the poor people disappear, but me still get my, delivery or whatever. Like, still find good help. Who would stay home if they're happy? Why would Republicans? That's called demobilized, honey. Because if they're going to allow a Democrat to win or risk a Democrat winning, that wouldn't continue their supposed contentment with the Republican, track record. If they were no, that's not how anything works. I love it. I love that explanation. It is so amazing to me. There's other explanations, however. JD Vance. Everyone, get your douche hats on. I think it's idiotic. I love a vice president who starts with, I think it's idiotic. It's just so, the energy is just so, have you even said thank you? Have you even said thank you? I think it's idiotic to overreact to a couple of elections in blue states, but a few thoughts. Scott Pressler, TPUSA, Turning Point, and a bunch of others have been working hard to register voters. I said in 2022, and I've said it repeatedly since, our coalition is lower propensity, and that means we have to do better at turning out voters than we have in the past. What? Since when were Republicans lower propensity? I'm sorry, I am not at all a political genius, but everyone knows that Republican voters are more reliable voters, okay? For some reason, they go out and they vote, maybe because they've always had the right. It's old people, it's the old Fox News viewers. And it's the reason that Democrats are like, well, we got to get the old whites. We got to pick apart some of the old whites. Instead of trying to mobilize the new young browns, they want the old whites. You know what I'm saying? So it's the way it's always been. So yes, Turning Point has done in the past some voter registration, but I believe last year it was very clear that there was embezzlement and misspending of the money that TPUSA got. They weren't actually trying to turn out the vote. It's yeah, man, they meme. They don't knock doors. They meme. Gross. To knock a door. What if a girl answers? You know what I mean? Ew. So the idea that they're trying to GOTV is just so funny and weird and laughable to me. But okay. 2, we need to focus on the home front. The president has done a lot that has already paid off in lower interest rates and lower inflation, but we inherited a disaster from Joe Biden. Yes. Okay. Every accusation is a confession. Biden inherited a disaster from Trump. And Rome wasn't built in a day. No, but it's crumbling in 9 months. We're going to keep on working to make a decent life affordable in this country. And that's the metric by which we'll ultimately be judged in 2026 and beyond. Ooh, a little bit of ding, ding, ding there, JD. You kind of got it right in that one moment. It is about affordability. So even JD Vance, he would not be saying this had not just these key races gone Democrat, but that a Democratic socialist relentlessly focused on affordability did not win by 10 points and get over 50% of the vote in New York. A decent life affordable in this country. All we got to do is kick out all of the people who harvest our food, who cook our food, who raise our children, who do work that nobody else wants to do. We got to once we've ethnically cleansed everybody, then you will have more money. Once all of the things that I think illegals are doing, which they're not, once they stop mooching off the system, which they're not, then we'll have more for you. Then we'll turn the SNAP benefits back on. I swear to God, you guys, you think it's good now? You think it's good now? The sort of spiraling out, the MAGA tears we're drinking now? Wait till it's Thanksgiving and people don't have enough food on their table and their fucking flights are canceled because of this government shutdown and Russell Vogt and all the psychos that are running. I'm not saying it's good. It's going to be bad, but the backlash is going to be strong. So however you can, local candidates, local organizing, maybe you will have the most interesting Thanksgiving conversation with your Republican family member ever this November. We could take bets. I don't go Polymarket, but I think Republicans end the shutdown before Thanksgiving. That is my feeling. Because, oh my God, imagine what Thanksgiving will look like. And yes, please, I have a monthly donation to a food bank that I love. So please either do that. Apparently, I've read that food banks actually prefer money rather than goods, so that they can spend it the way they need to, whether that's what kind of food or personnel or whatever it is. So please donate as well if you can to your local food banks, because there are lines. It is awful. These are also federal workers. Number 3 is something I'm going to talk about a little bit later, maybe next week. The infighting is stupid. I care about my fellow citizens, particularly young Americans, being able to afford a decent life. I care about immigration and our sovereignty. Ugh. What country, like, what first world, for lack of a better term, country is talking about their sovereignty? Who's taking away your sovereignty, my guy? Like, this is not Cuban independence. Like, what are you talking about? Your sovereignty? No, man, this is some racist great replacement theory, dog whistle, racist act. I care about our establishing peace overseas so our resources can be focused at home. If you care about those things too, let's work together. Oh, you're gonna do none of those things. That's so adorable. Keep tweeting. Just keep tweeting through it. Just keep tweeting through it. That's all I have to say. Keep tweeting through it. You'll get there. Lastly, the woman who maybe represents some of the Republican infighting for good reasons, for bad reasons. Someone who I don't see as hope, but who's been, singing a different tune lately. Oh no, this is Marjorie Greene here. If you don't understand yesterday's election results, here are the groups of Republicans have disenfranchised. Oh, she's going to talk about disenfranchisement from the Republican Party. Black Americans, people with the same last name, Latino Americans. No, America first, America only. What? Is this a new classification of your racism? America first, America only? We've been disenfranchised. We're the America first, America only. Wink, wink, Israel. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You can say it. We all say it. Number 2, MAGA. I don't understand what MAGA hasn't gotten. Although if you ask them, they'll be like, we haven't burned every vaccine. When do the burn pits for vaccines start? I'm not sure how MAGA has been disenfranchised. 3, Americans suffering from the high cost of living, rising food and energy prices, leaving them out to dry with no plan on our skyrocketing health insurance premiums. Uh-oh. I think she uttered this the other day on The View. Marjorie Greene knows that the whole shutdown, the Democrats' holdout, is for these insane premiums on the ACA that are going through the roof that the government could easily maintain to give us some reprieve. It is after all a government program, and they can do that. Instead, they are throwing us to the health insurance wolves. You can't meme. This is the best part. You can't meme and throw red meat rants and interviews and get your way out of this. These people are serious and only support action. They are done with words, and I completely agree with them. Says the memestress herself. Says Miss Red Bait rants. No, she is changing her tune. And according to AOC, it's because Donald Trump didn't support a run for her for the Senate, which I love that tea. And that's the reason that she's so pissed off and has sort of turned. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.